recapping on last week, we can see that, I think everybody had a pretty bad game week in general. Myself included, I'd say to an extent. I'm bang on average, 48 points. In the middle, 9.6 million managers, 4.8 million was the rank. We had some good performances almost throughout the team, except when it came to my three at the back defense with Danny Ward. That did not go so well. 1 point between four players. And if you look at the combined value of these three gentlemen in particular, you're looking at 20.5 out of a potential budget of 100 million. It's part of the reason why I had a thought and went, look, we've got some great picks and we've got some not so great picks. Take a look at the bench as well. Andreas with 8 points from my boys Fulham. Was fantastic. Would have loved for him to have started. I don't see a way that with Neco Williams and Patterson being in the team that we would have been able to get those points. But that's where we stand, and partly why I was thinking that wildcarding would make sense. Going on to the actual wildcard team, as it stands, I went for value. And this is part of the thing that we've got to think about as FPL managers. You pull the trigger early on the wild card. Let's say Sunday afternoon is done, the final game is finished, and you're starting to think, if I make the wild card now, what are the benefits and what do I do? It's at that point that you should certainly be considering pulling the trigger at that time. So you've made the rationale around which way to go. Pull the trigger early. Make sure that as you've decided to make that wildcard decision, you've got to pull that trigger. And then as soon as you've pulled that trigger, take players that you don't think are going to increase or decrease in value and transform them into players that you think are going to increase in value, straight off the bat. So don't pick your ideal team up front. Pick the team that you believe is going to increase in value. That will allow you and buy you some time throughout the week to start making some final decisions around what your team needs to look like. And that's exactly what I've done here. I've said throughout the team, which are the players that I believe are going to increase in value. And then based on that, put the team together. And then like tonight, Friday night, I'm able to make a call and say, actually, I did want Rodrigo in my team. Now, Rodrigo's gone up, I think, 0.2 or 0.3 in this week alone. If I'd pulled the trigger today, I would have lost out on 0.2 of that team value. If you take into account that Henderson is part of that, Zaha's gone up in value. Martinelli was already in my team. Tony's gone up in value. Haaland's gone up in value. Perisic, I think, went up in value by 0.1. And then certainly Gross went up in value. I don't know whether Sanchez did, Andreas did. You're looking probably at more than 1.0 of team value just on pulling that trigger early. So that's my recommendation. You pull the trigger early and you put all of the players in that you believe is going to go up in value.